Good day, podcast community. Pete Kane here, the podcast, Pete Kane Podcast Show. However, I want to talk about a subject that's near and dear to me. Why don't you have time to create? Why don't I have time to create my life? 3 helpful tips to get your life back. Get your time back is more important. Okay, first, you have to have a plan. Whenever you don't have a plan, and you can even say vision for your life, you're going to be consuming other people's lives. What do I mean by that? The average person in America watches 4 hours of TV, scrolls up to 3 hours of social media. And what are you doing during that time? You're consuming other people's lives. When we get back to what we're designed to do, create our life, then we stop consuming so much of other people's lives. The magic is in you and anything's possible. However, you have to be intentional about having a plan for your life. In the Bible, it says, a man who doesn't have a vision perishes. The average person passes 2 years after retirement. And the reason? They lack purpose. You're working, your work is everything. It's all of a sudden now you retire and you get the gold watch. And 2 years later, you're gone. You have to, as my friend Jeff said, repack your bag. He was an engineer, I think electrical engineer in my Rotary Club. We were talking because he had just retired and he had just finished the book, Repack Your Bag. And what it's meaning is you got to have another purpose. Your purpose that you left is now the past. So if you don't reestablish a purpose, that's why a lot of people in our Rotary Club are so excited. When they retire, now they're serving. Now they're making an impact. And you can see and feel the excitement because they have purpose. So when you're trying to make decisions about how to spend your time wisely, as they always say, if you're looking at consuming, you're gonna be distracted. Now people say, well, look, I had a tough day, I gotta veg out. Nothing wrong with vegging out, but 4 hours, that's no purpose. That is somebody that is happy consuming another person's lives when we're born to create. And so if you have a bigger vision and you're creating your life, you're going to, if you want to ask people that are absolutely crushing it out there, how much time do you spend watching TV? You'll be surprised what they say. TV? I don't watch it. Yeah, occasionally, but rarely. Because they're not interested in consuming other people's life. They're interested in creating their life. Even to the point where people do these one-on-ones and they get together. It's like in their mind, it's got to be an hour. Whoever said it had to be an hour? But when you don't have a purpose, like my purpose is, I'm going to spend 10 minutes with that person. I'm not going to spend an hour. You know what you are coming to do, build the relationship, have a purpose, and then you save 50 minutes. You start multiplying that out. That's why when we talk about the most precious thing that you have is your time, but it's free in people's minds. You think it's free, so you don't value it. So you scroll, so you watch TV, you check your emails first thing in the morning, and you start running towards other people's priorities instead of thinking, journaling, planning and implementing. When you do that, I've seen the transformation in my life. When I'm most full of just joy, it's when I've had a day that I've just crushed it with creativity, created content, done podcasts, built curiosity, built relationships. Because podcasting, when somebody asks me, why do I do podcasting and do I monetize it? I say yes, yes, and yes. Why do I do it? I learn. I build my curiosity muscle. I build a relationship. And I create a digital asset. Because if you're not, oops, hold on here. I lost you. Hold on here. Here we go. If you're not aware of creating, you'll be stuck on the busy bus. And you'll be stuck with distractions after distractions after distractions. Do you know our social media people? They have the brightest people in the country, PhDs. And what is their job? Keep you occupied. Keep you on their platform. Producers of shows. Nothing wrong with a good movie. But do you need to binge? Well, sometimes people say, yeah, I spent all day binging on Netflix, consuming other people's lives. So, you want your time back? You want to create your life? Shift from consumption to creative. There's so many things you can do. You can write your book. You can create a podcast. You can create online content. You can create whatever, even if it's a hobby. No, it's a hobby because a hobby is not going to generate cash flow. We talk about generating leads, creating cash flow, and building thriving communities. That's a business. But if you're not generating cash flow, it's a hobby. So if you have hobbies, great. We want you to, because you want to enjoy the journey. You don't want to wait till you become retired and maybe you neglected your health and you're not able to do what you want to do because you waited. We say, be bold, make a difference, and have fun. So that doesn't mean wait till you're 65 to go on your vacations. It means do them now. COVID gave us a sense of urgency. That's why the travel industry went like this, because people saw how precious life is. Now, for myself, I saw it. I got a second chance after a stroke, and in the eyes of a medical professional, shouldn't have survived. And if I did, it was a lot worse. Now, my left side, I don't have a left side like most people. I can't run. I can't play golf like I used to. If I run, it's not going to be pretty because I'll be biting the concrete. However, that was 3 years ago. You do repack. You have to get another purpose. And when you get another purpose, which podcasting, high performance coaching, creating content, creating my life like I want it to be, not consuming other people's lives. I hardly ever check email. Now, do I miss some emails? Yes. Do I have a system for it? No, but I probably will get one. But my primary thing is talking to people and occasionally texting. My phone's on silent all the time. All the time. My brain can't handle sounds anyway. But it's been absolutely incredible to have that time back. Don't rush around having to respond to an email, a text in 2 minutes. That's you saying that. You decide. But when you shift from consumption to creativity, magical things happen. Your time just kind of slows down. And now I'm not in a rush. I'm very purposeful in how I manage and work a day. Now, I do have an advantage over most because when you get a second chance, you have what we call mortality motivation. So I live every single day like it's my last. One day I'm going to be right. But until then, I'm going to give it my best. I'm going to have a purpose. I'm going to create. I'm going to enjoy. I am going to be present at every conversation that I can. And I keep working on it. Have fun. I don't drink anymore. Gave it up a couple of years ago just for my brain because I knew I needed to repair and rewire my brain. When I found out how well I felt, holy camole. My brother even he said, man, I think you're sharper after your stroke than before. I mean, now there's certain things you give up and certain things you pick up. And I picked up a clarity like nothing because I do think, I do journal, I do plan, I do implement. I don't have the normal distractions I used to have. I know where I'm going. I have written goals. I have deadlines. I have habits that I've created through what we call atomic habits. I stack them on top of each other. So I don't miss the gym. Almost 2 years of getting up and going to the gym at 5 a.m. Now, if I depended on my willpower and I didn't have a purpose, do you think I would have made that each day? No. But my purpose was to make an impact, was to recover, was to create a new life of creating a business. I love podcasting because it nurtures my soul of curiosity, building relationships, creating content, and getting to know people. I have people, let's say it's a half hour. I get to know a person. I get to explore areas that I want to based on the answers to the questions. So when you look at the brightest people in this country, they are paid to keep you on their platform. They're paid to consume your time because they get paid when you stay on the platform. So you have to have a plan. You have to know where you're going because if you don't know where you're going, anything is going to distract you. So you got to have a plan for your life. You got to create your life. You have to be aware of your purpose. And purpose is not this grandiose mission. It's not like a piano. Brendan said, like it falls out of the air and hits you on the head. Oh, I know my purpose. No, purpose is broken down into the most smallest of tasks. My purpose can be showing up, being present in a conversation, not looking at my cell phone, not checking texts when I'm with somebody. Put the phone away and be present. The joy you get of creating that conversation just fills your heart. And when you can shift from consumption to creating, magical things happen. I often had heard, like when Tom Brady was in the backfield, the game slowed down. He knew what he needed to do. He had a purpose. He had a plan. He had a strategy. Excuse me. Oh man, that was a good one. He had a plan. That's why he won so many games, so many Super Bowls. You have a plan for your life, you can be like Tom Brady in your world. Do you think he had any distractions when he won the Super Bowl against our Atlanta Falcons? Yeah, he did have a plan, and it worked. Gotta have a plan. Gotta slow down life. Because if you think you have to be everywhere, which a lot of people do, oh, I gotta be seen, I gotta be everywhere. No, you just have to be somewhere. And somewhere is being present wherever you are. Now, we say you got to think global now. Local, and think global, because creating digital assets and being a key person of influence. Let me put this up on the screen. You got to know and understand 7-11-4. People have to consume 7 hours of you, make 11 buying signals, and see you on 4 different platforms. Daniel Priestley wrote this book with his partner, Mike Reed. And you have to have that in mind. So you got to create content. Podcast is a great way to do it. You get to learn, you get to grow, you get to build incredible relationships with people, and you create an asset. And in this book is the 5 Ps: pitch, profile, product, presentation, and partnership. If it was somebody that said, it might have been Daniel Priestley, like, an entrepreneur is a culmination of 1,000 pitches. You got to always be pitching. My pitch: we generate leads, create cash flow, and build thriving communities. That's it. Now, if you search me, you'll see a digital profile, and then we haven't even started. That's what's crazy, because I don't have to attend every networking event in the city. I don't have to be at everything. I just have to be somewhere where the purpose is well defined. Online, that's the best place now, because your digital profile is so critical. I meet you. What am I going to do? I'm going to search you. And if I don't find anything, the journey is over. You have to give me a journey. You have to give me enough content where I can consume you. Because people are consuming. Give people what they want. Get them in a position to know, like, and trust you. And they have to do it with 7 hours of you. That's Roger Dunbar. 11 is Google's 0 moment of truth. People have to raise their hand. They got to give you a buying signal. I'm interested in knowing more. When they're interested in knowing more, let me make this a little bit small. When they are interested in knowing you more, that's a buying signal. And if people now, you don't have to make all these fancy funnels. Just be a key person of influence. Might take you a year. You're going to get there anyway. So be intentional about creating it. Buy the book, Key Person of Interest. Buy the book. One of the best books you'll read when it comes to the marketing of you. You are the magic, and anything's possible. But you have to activate it. You have to know a plan of creating, learning your pitch, building your digital profile, creating a product like this. Like I'm going to give you right now, I'm going to give you our ecosystem, which is our masterclass. Go to pkane.me/masterclass. Your gift from us. Don't even have to give me an email. It's a gift. Take it, receive it, and understand the ecosystem that'll help you grow and help your business grow. Because if you understand the power of key person of influence and you work on your pitch and you create a digital profile and you build digital products, physical products too, a book's a product, and you work on your presentation and you develop partnerships. When I go to networking events, I'm not looking for one client. I'm looking for partnerships. I'm looking for people to align with, where we can collaborate with, where we can together do something great. That's creating a partnership. Creating your presentation is our virtual event, 5 minutes, 3 points. We do a virtual event on the third Friday. 10 people, 15 talks. Then on the fourth Saturday at Grace Church, we're teaching you how to speak from a platform. 5 minutes, 3 points. The same people that do the virtual event speak live because we want you to be a key person of influence. We want you, the first time you do it, to be scared if it is your first time. Because the number 2 fear in life is public speaking. So if you allow your fear to control you, you allow your fear to control other areas of your life. So you may be scared, which is natural, but once you do it, man, that was good. Then you get better and better and better and better. You get more effective. You work on your pitch. You work on the way you move on the stage. You work on the way you influence. You work on talking to your market. Because when you have 5 minutes, you got to be tight. You got to be precise. And we always do 3 things. 3 things. And it could be the same because you don't want to change everything. You want to do the same thing because people have to get to know you. And maybe you've bored by it, but that's good because there's a person that hears it for the first time that's not bored. When you went to a concert and they played the same songs, the people doing the concert were pretty bored, but it was their job. You were seeing it, hearing it for the first time, or in a position that even though it was boring for them, they knew they had to keep delivering the same experience. So this is very important because I want you to understand how important these trends are. The digital revolution trend, entrepreneur, you have your crypto, your AI, your mobile, and your personal development. This is the trend. 6 of them. There we go, 6. 6 trends right now. So if you're thinking, I'll get to it someday. Yeah, when you get to it, the market's going to be flying by you like you're standing still. You got to have a sense of urgency now because it's moving too fast. AI is moving fast. We're going to see more change in the next year to 2 than you've ever seen in your life. And if you want to be part of that change, you have to make this shift into creating your life, leveraging AI. Use it as a tool to be able to work more efficiently, faster, replicate boring things, create systems, designs for your life. Creating, is there a common word there? Yes, there is. So that gift is for you. Just go masterclass. We want you to connect with us. Go to pk.me/connect. Connect with us. Now, the 6th trend of personal development trend, we have a 7-day, you can try Brendon Burchard because Brendon, the number 1 coach, trainer in the world, he's created more content than anybody alive. And he's created Growth Day. And his High Performance Institute certified me. I teach the same framework. However, there's a difference besides our knowledge level. He charges $1 million for one-on-one. I'm a little bit less than that. Yes. as maybe when you get this, how I've worked my way up, whatever. But it's all a matter of the value you give. When he gives billionaires and Olympic athletes and top celebrities the value that he gives them, they want him. They tell their friends. So that's why he is in such demand. But you can have him speak to you for 7 days. We call it the 5 to Thrive because it's your fuel to your rocket. It's him speaking and giving you a framework. His 20 plus years of working with people, he's given that to you each day. You have a related video from a trainer, a millionaire in the community, helping to train you, helping to align you with what he's teaching. Then 2 thought-provoking questions to get you to think about creating. And then you score yourself. And when you score yourself, you're able to know how you're getting better. So take advantage of it. Go to petekane.me/growth day. Then email us at support@petekane.me and I'll give you my free course, Mindset, Goals, and Habits. So we have a 12-week mastermind transformation where you can learn about generating leads, creating cash flow, and building thriving communities. You can do this. You can go to petekane.me/magazine. You can sign up. This will give you the ability to be on the cover, to build your team. Because when you build your team through key strategic relationships and partners, and you do it intentionally, we have a separate training for that, you are putting your team together. And not only are you putting your team together, you're doing it with Brendon Burchard's framework. You're going to learn about focal points. 2nd week, clarity. 3rd week, energy. 4th, courage, productivity, influence. That's the 6th week. Then we're going to get into psychology, physiology mastery, and we're going to get into productivity mastery, mastering the beautiful commodity of time. 24 hours. You have it, I have it. How we use it is what makes us different. And if you can learn to master productivity, you're able to get the important things done in that 24-hour time frame. And you're creating a life for yourself and your family. And purpose, mastery is the next one. Persuasion, purpose, and then a lifestyle. It's really a mindset of high performance because it's based on his book, High Performance Habits. And the habits are clarity, energy, courage, productivity. And the last one is influence. You can get his book, High Performance Habits. When you get Growth Day, you get the audio for free. That's part of, because once you do the 7 days and you see the change that can happen in you, you're going to want to continue because you want to get better. You want to have Brendon speak to you each day. You want those 2 thought-provoking questions. You want to journal. You want to take challenges. You want to be part of a community that does personal development daily. We physically take showers, but do we mentally take showers? When was the last time you read a book, listened to a good podcast, worked on yourself? Maybe this time, it's time to do it daily. It's time to get involved in high performance coaching, to go through a framework where you will not be the same when you finish those 12 weeks because this will be changed. When you change this, you change your outcome. And your outcome is creating your life. So the last thing, build a calendar. Build a calendar. You can tell so much about a person from their calendar because it doesn't happen if it's not on my calendar. So I've gotten better at that, but I keep trying to get a little bit better, scheduling more and more on there so I can get less distracted and know that I'm creating my life, and my calendar is the central part of it. Look at a person's calendar and you'll understand a person's priorities. You want to get off the busy bus and into the purpose plane. Purpose plane is going to a destination. That's your life. That's creating purpose in your life is critical for you to create the life that's possible. We say the magic is in you and anything's possible. It doesn't automatically happen. You have to activate it. You have to say, well, you know what? I think I've been playing around too long. It's time for me to schedule a strategy session. So, if you've never scheduled a strategy session, do it. Schedule it at pkane.me. If you have and you want a clarity shorter and you want to get some clarity, we want to see where you are and see how we can help you, book a clarity session. Just send it. You can go to, let's see, yes, you can. You can activate it at pkane.me/start. And at the bottom, there's going to be a button that says clarity. You can know where to start, but you got to be clear about your next step, clear about creating. And if you have that clarity, your time is different. Most are distracted. Most watch 4 hours of TV. Most scroll 3 hours of social media. Most start the day checking email, other people's priorities. You can intentionally create your life by thinking, journaling, planning, implementing, by getting a strategy session, knowing where you're going. It's 1 hour. 1 hour of focused time on you, creating your strategy for your life. When you do that, magical things happen. The days slow down and you start what we call prioritize daily action, PDA, prioritize daily action. That can happen for you because you're creating your life. So be bold, make a difference, and have fun.